Hey coach, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about actually getting your stream streaming. So we're going to be using Streamlabs OBS and we're going to show you two quick ways to do it, or two ways to do it. One really quick, just to get up and live, and then another one that is just kind of some of the things you can do within Streamlabs to kind of res up your broadcast. So um, the first version can be done in like 2 to 3 minutes, which is great. So you're going to need to get Streamlabs OBS for PCs. There's other streaming platforms out there. There's just regular OBS for Macs, but I'm working on a PC, so that's the one I'm using. Super simple and straightforward. You're going to need to get a Twitch account. Highly recommend you get just a straight up one for the school. Don't use a personal account. And you need a headset or a microphone, ideally. It's going to make things a lot easier for your casters. All right, so let's just assume you have Streamlabs and let's assume you have Twitch and you're ready to go. So you have your Streamlabs OBS account, you've got a Twitch account, but you got to marry the two together. So this is the little bitty step that you got to take to get going. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to link what's called a stream key. Now the place you're going to find that stream key is at your Twitch account profile. You're going to go to settings and you're going to go to channels and video. You could also do this by just doing customize channel on that first page. And you're going to find your primary stream key here. You're going to copy it. You don't want to show this, share this. Don't put it in any Discord servers ever. Don't give it to the kids. They can accidentally go live if they have this. They have anyone who has this has access to your Twitch stream. So keep it close to the vest. So I got that. I'm going to go back over here and I'm just going to dump it in my stream key section, click done, and now when I go live, I'm going live. Now you've got a game coming up and you need to get it live. Well, you're going to open up Streamlabs and you won't see all this. This is for the next version of this video, but what you are going to see is two blank boxes, scenes and sources. Scenes collect sources and you can transition through the scenes by clicking on them. We're going to assume you got nothing, so we're going to make a new scene. I think it starts with a new scene is the name. But we're going to call this Team Rocket League 1. And I've got an empty box full of sources, potential sources. Click my plus button. I'm going to go to Game Capture. Picks up most games. It'll figure them out. It doesn't know the difference between them, but it will just pick a game that's being played. So Rocket League is running. I'm going to click Rocket League. I could add more game sources if I wanted. I'm click go, boom, there it is. Now, what you are seeing here is an edit and a live box. This is because I'm in studio mode. Highly recommend studio mode because your edit box doesn't go live until you hit transition. So now I have my Rocket League stream. My headset audio is being pulled in automatically. Now, if you don't have anything coming through here, it's okay. We'll just pick audio input capture and built-in microphones, USB, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to pick mic. I'm going to say call it a mic, and here I can choose the device. So if I have multiple microphones plugged in, I can make sure I only get the one microphone, so I'm not pulling in a bunch of different, the same thing from the same person. So I could do this and have a redundancy, um, but I don't need both of them. So I'm gonna remove that. So there's my default input setting. It's coming in, and the other thing I'm gonna want is um, audio. Audio output, desktop audio, default. There you go. Now, if I went into Rocket League right now, which I will do, and I turned up the volume for the music, you should see my desktop audio start to move. And there you go. So now my game sounds are playing, and my speech is working. So there you go. With that, all you gotta do is hit go live, and if you want to record it, hit record. Just make sure that when you change anything here, you're gonna click transition. That's gonna get it live. Doesn't matter what you do. You make any edits, hit transition to go live to make those edits stick. There you go. You have a live stream with a caster, possibly multiple casters at the same computer or station, and you're good to go. The next set of this video is we're going to talk about some of the things you can do to res up your broadcast to give your viewers a different experience if you want to go that route. So we're going to talk about some of the added features and cool stuff you can do in Streamlabs OBS to kind of, to make that stream a broadcast. Now, with our edit and our live scenes, we're able to look at something before we send it live, which is great. But what can we actually do? So right now I've added my stream starting soon screen with a clock. Now, as you can see over here in my scene, I've selected my scene. And I have sources. Remember, sources live inside scenes, and the sources are the elements that you see. What's cool is they all just kind of like overlay on top of each other. So when I click on something, I can move it around, reposition it, resize it with these square corners, which, as you can see, nothing's happening over here. But if I like that, I hit transition, and it moves it over. Pretty clean, pretty cool. Now, what I have going on in here, which you can't really hear, because I've muted it, is I've added an audio source. So that I have with the stream starting soon, that goes 30 minutes before, I've added an audio source, which is just a media source for this purposes. It's a media file. And when I've dumped it in there, I set it to loop and it just loops. You can change the speed and do a bunch of other stuff if you want. Now you can also add videos. You can add image graphics as overlays and shrink them and put them somewhere. So you could put your school's logo. You could put anything you want. Just make it and place it. The play around with all the other stuff, text I'll show you in just a second. You could even bring in another scene that's already happening and put it in the corner or something like that. So you can really get creative with the stuff, but just be careful getting creative. There's a fine line between creativity and clutter. Remember, they're here to watch the esports. So I have this stream set up in a way that I have a starting soon screen. When the time is right, I'm going to move into my intro with audio, which is another media source for an intro graphic. And let's just assume that we're 4 seconds away. It's okay. I got it right here, sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and I transition. Bam. It's audio off. That's going to go live, and I'm going to go ahead and set up my game with name placeholder screen so that when that goes and it's done, transition into my game. What is this game? This is just my Rocket League placeholder. But if I had a real Rocket League game going on over here, I would have the little 0 versus 0 in the middle, which doesn't really tell anybody who's actually playing. So I've added a folder, right? So click the folder plus button, and I've called it team names. The reason I made a folder is because I want to be able to view and hide them together. If for whatever reason I wanted to do that, I click the eyeball and they would both go away. Whereas if they were standalone, it would be one at a time, which isn't as seamless and nice. So I've gone in here and I've added this text option, and I come in here and I click into it, and I can change the fonts and what it looks like, which is cool. So now if I was in a game, I would have CVHS and the other team over there. So I don't have to constantly say it over and over and over again. A couple other things you'll see in here is I have Discord speech. So if you are virtual and you're remote, you're gonna want to test this to make sure you get it just right. But if let's say you're doing League of Legends and you've got multiple people who've been able to get in because they have that tournament code, but they're not at the same computers, or even they're both at home, as long as they're in a Discord server, right, and they're in a voice chat, and you're streaming, let me show you what I'm streaming, and I'm streaming the headset output, right? So I added an audio output capture, and I'm streaming now what's coming from my headset. So when I'm in that Discord server, I hear my co-casters, and everybody hears all of us, which is awesome. So that means my headset's coming through. I pointed to a screen that you can't see me do that. And it's going out. Now my co-casters are going out live. And we've solved the distance problem, right? So we have multiple casters casting at the same time, watching this game together. Awesome. But test it, make sure you get it all right. That's you just have to do some wonky stuff. No wonky stuff. You just have to make sure you got the right audio outputs going. Because in this one, I've got my desktop audio for my Rocket League game itself, and I have my Discord audio. So almost done. Coming in maybe around like 10 minutes, and you can have a full broadcast thing going on. But lastly, I would suggest linking directly to your Twitch account. So you're going to want to log in down here, log into your Twitch account. And what that's going to give you as a broadcaster is a lot more features. That's what allows you to do different overlays, um, you know, ticker bars and stuff like that that comes straight from your Twitch account. Right now we're just going from OBS to Twitch. And if you log in, it brings Twitch to OBS. And so now you have this cyclical communication device because it also brings in your chat box. So when you go live, your broadcaster has the stream up here and the chat box. So they can also communicate directly via the chat if you wanted to do that, which is how you could bypass a whole lot of things is you could have one kid doing the stream management with the chat box, two kids doing casting and not dealing with it. You've got a whole broadcasting suite going on. Um, let's talk about one more cool thing is that if you wanted to actually see them, you could have, so let's add them, right? So this is going to be a little difficult because my camera is already being used, so you're not going to see it. But I could do a video capture and I could bring in my webcam. We're going to call this caster. And blah, blah, it's good to go. And problem is my webcam's being used, so you can't see it. But you can then add that caster in the bottom corner, right corner, wherever you want to put it. So play around with that too, because it can add another element of fun and cool. You can see the expressions as people freak out. But yeah, there you go. So once you get casters in there, then you're gonna have to start playing with green screens and the like behind you if you want to do that. It's honestly not that difficult to do. You just add one more cool feature, which is a filter. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. Just right click and add filters. There's a bunch of filters that you can add to all sorts of different devices. Play around with these. These get really fun. But the chroma key is the one you're going to want to do. So you do a chroma key, you select a color, and it will block that color out behind you. But again, play with all that stuff. This is more about just getting your stream live into a whatever version you want, whether you want it super clean or you want to add some transitions and stuff like that. So go out there, play with this stuff, and don't forget to push go live and also record your games so you can upload them to YouTube or whatever you want to do. If you do decide to go with the subscription model to the Twitch Prime Streamlabs OBS, you can get additional features including graphics and overlays seamlessly linked directly to your stream. So there's a lot you can do. There's also just a little you can do to also be a completely legit looking stream. So go um, go play esports and be seen.